Hey, what's up? This is another demo review, and today we're going to be doing Technoplasm, and he is an MG2, MG1, something like that. I actually forgot, I'd have to go take a look, but there are a few things I want to bring up about this. This is a really good game you had. There are some things I need to bring up. First off, in the pistol round, I'll just show you basically what goes down. Alright, so pretty straightforward, right? Push on a site, you get the bomb down. Now, the issues here are, is how this is played. Oh, actually, I'm not watching it. Alright, there we go. So, move forward. So, first off, whenever you're going to B through banana, you always need to be watching this area if you're not smoking it off, right? And here in the situation, your teammate over here is looking over here, right? Not at that corner. So, you need to keep an eye on that. But, he ends up not being too big of a problem, because you guys just end up killing him. Now this is just, a bad play right here. Luckily, this guy wasn't peeking out very wide. But, if there's somebody here, there usually isn't going to be a second person anywhere here, so there's nowhere to look there. There's always going to be 2 or more people on a site for Inferno, right? Either, or not on a site, but protecting a site, right? Generally, it's 3A, 2B. Sometimes it's 3B, 2A. You never know. But there's always probably going to be at least 2 people at B site. And you killed this guy here. Now, the most important spots to be looking for is somebody here, or first oranges, second oranges, new box, dark, and spools, right? Very rarely is anyone going to be playing down here. And the reason why this particular angle is really bad is because you're wide open for somebody to shoot you in the back. They could be at dark, they could be at new box, at second oranges, first oranges. Anybody here can shoot you in the back. You're just looking at CT, which is not good. But you put it on the site, you kill that guy. No big deal.
Remember, this is bandit country. Flashback everything.
Again.
Throw in smoke.
Push it forward. And keep going through.
Move it. Throw in a flashbang grenade. I'll throw in a flashbang grenade. Molotov.
Alright,
I am throwing smoke.
so if we look at this round, we'll play this again.
Move it.
So,
Throw in a flashbang grenade.
oops, that's not you. First off, you throw that flash right there. I need to play that again. I need to be actually watching you this time. There we go. So first off, we're going to play this round. This time we're actually going to watch you. Okay.
Throw in a flashbang grenade.
You go banana, you pull out a flash, you throw it here. Alright. Not a big fan of that flash. I wouldn't suggest throwing it, because you're out in the open right here while you're throwing that flash down here. If anyone were to peek out car or this corner, you'd probably end up dying. Or taking a lot of damage. Not to mention, a lot of people like to nade down banana like this. So, it's scary. I would suggest throwing a flash over the roof like this. It flashes anybody here, 100%. But, yeah. Alright, now here's the one I had the big problem with. That flash one wasn't a big deal, but this is the... You're standing right here to smoke off CT, right? This is why I think learning smoke and flash and molly grenade spots are so important, because when you're in a situation like this, if you need to smoke off CT, because it's a really important place to smoke off, you don't... Sorry about that. Anyways, the reason why I emphasize learning these smoke spots so much is because you don't want to be in the middle of here, no cover at all, throwing a smoke into a spot that's so highly contested, right? If this was a gun round, there would have been somebody watching here, maybe somebody watching there too. Could be somebody sandbags that you didn't check, or in this cubby spot, or right here, right? Standing out in the open right here is so ridiculously dangerous, especially when you're throwing a smoke grenade. Because keep in mind, you can't shoot while you're throwing a smoke grenade, right? So I would suggest learning smoke spot for that. There's one where you can throw from here. There's one where you can throw from here. I think you've seen somebody throw one from here. It just, you need to learn those because they're so important. Because I've seen a lot of people die because they're trying to smoke up CT here. I've seen someone throw it, and then somebody from CT sees them throwing that smoke, or hears them, and so they just peek out and kill them. Because they know they can't do anything about it. So, that's something you want to take care of. Alright, go B again. Again, smoke, we talked about this. Alright, so there's a blessing and a curse about this play. And the way that you played that. I'm just gonna go through that. So, going B. Get your buddies with you. Bomb is behind you. You guys smoke off CT. Everything's going good so far. And your teammate gets ops. Now, the blessing and the curse about the way you played this is the thing I hate about people when I'm playing ranked is if we're going down banana, this specific situation has happened to me so many times. The one you just played, where the team is committed to pushing into B, and an op from spools kills somebody. So many times, a teammate will die to an op, and everyone else just runs away. They're like, I don't want to die, that op's scary, I'm leaving. I hate it when people play like that, alright? I love what you did, because you realized that he can't shoot for another half a second to like second and a half, right? Somewhere in between there. Because he has to reload his op for that next bolt shot, right? That's why I hate when people run away. It's not an automatic gun, right? You can't just fire. They don't have an auto sniper, right? So I hate it when people run away. Now you did push him to get for that trade kill, right? Because you don't want your teammate to die to somebody and then just letting them die for no reason, right? So you wanted to get the trade kill, which is good. I like that thinking. The problem is you ran straight towards him, right? Now let's keep in mind the easiest target to hit in Counter-Strike, easier than a standing still target, is one that is running towards you, right? If somebody's running towards you, not only is their target getting bigger and easier to hit, they're going in a straight line and they can't shoot accurately because they're moving. And you know exactly where they're going to be. That's why a target moving straight towards you is the easiest target to hit. Also keep in mind that you are playing against an op, right? This is the op crosshair. That's gorgeous. See, when you ran at him, when he peeked out, you were right here. His line of sight is this, right? And when you peeked out, you're right here. When you're pushing an op, you do not want to be here. This is not good. You want to be here, right? You want to be here, here. Anywhere outside of this zone when you're pushing an op, okay? So instead of going through here straight towards him, I would have preferred you pushed into this grill area, right? Pushed around like that. Because it's much easier for you to jump off of grill and get a kill on him here because he wasn't expecting you and he couldn't see you, than you straight running towards an op. Because the one thing the op is so great at is killing anything in front of it, right? At long distances, at medium to long distances, the op is so good if you're in their crosshairs. Now, if you're right here, the op's not going to be as good unless they hit a lucky no-scope, right? So, wouldn't suggest running towards them. There is another round that I want to talk about. To be honest, I'm not really sure which one it is, but we're going to find out. Alright, I think it actually might be this one. Okay, no, never mind, it's not this one. I'm gonna keep moving forward.
Let's go, fellas. I am throwing a grenade.
Alright, it's not.
I am throwing
It's not
smoke.
this one either. It's okay, it might be this one.
Throwing smoke. I am throwing flashbang. Throwing a flashbang.
Alright. So you push into apartments, right? I'm sorry for the laggy demo, I was just speedrunning this. Alright, so you push out a balcony, you get a quick kill here. Great, you're not doing anything wrong right now. Now, you see, and it's pretty clearly either communicated or you just with your games, with your game sense, understood that your team was taking B site, right? Now, what happens next is not your fault. What happens next is, I don't know whose fault it is. I don't know what happened here, to be honest. Like, I don't know how your team managed to mess this up. Watch, they have 3 men on site against this one guy dark, and that guy goes for the knife and doesn't get the kill. The guy plants, and then he gets shot. Now he's dead. Alright, that guy who went for the knife absolutely threw this round, but there's still hope for you. Now here's the problem that I have. You can't hear it because the demo is being a bit glitchy,
Diffusing.
but you were obviously in a rush. Let's say the worst case scenario, which could very well be true. This guy, and this guy, all these guys are in a queue together, alright? Which probably is the case. And they're probably not talking to you because they're all just talking to each other in TeamSpeak or whatever it is, right? Worst case scenario. But on your mini-map, you can see where the bomb is planted. Now, you should have an understanding of what, in your mini-map, I know it looks really small, it's only like this big, but this red area is everywhere you can plant on B site. Now, according to that, you should know where the site is. You should know that, alright, you can't plant past grill, can't plant past this, and you can't plant past new box, right? So seeing where the bomb is in that red square on your mini-map, you should know that it's next to grill or in front of spools, right? All you had to do was push out a banana and check to make sure no one was defusing. Now, you went for the trade, you went in here to try and do something, but you made so much noise that this guy here knew you were coming, and then luckily you got the trade kill. But the chance, if he wasn't so good, if he didn't throw that right there, I don't know how he lost that to you, because he had the jump on you. If he hadn't messed that up, that would have been 2v1 for your teammate right here, and that's not a good situation, right? The reason why I say don't push on the site in this specific scenario is because your teammate is all the way in this area. I think when you're like having that gunfight, he was still in Speedway, right? That's not what you want. You need to wait for your teammate to take care of these situations. I would have peeked out and saw that they weren't defusing, and then I would have said, alright, I'm not going to peek out, I'll wait for you. He's not on the bomb yet. And that's when you guys can work together to take the site back, right? The most important part is to make sure he's not defusing that bomb. I understand coming in to check the bomb, but running all the way here was definitely not the right decision, because you made a lot of noise. You told them where you were coming from, and you put yourself in a risk where you had to take this gunfight when you didn't need to take that gunfight. And see, there might be some other rounds. No, those are the ones that I made note of, but there's some other stuff that I want to talk about. I can't exactly remember which rounds they happen, but I'll let you know soon. I'm going to make a shorter demo review. I watched your CT side. I don't really need to say anything about it. All right, this is another play I had a problem with. I'm going to do that again. So we're going to go through this. There you are. So you go banana, get the kill. Blah, blah, blah. Doing nothing wrong here. Alright, now this is the problem we have. You're in a 3v2. And I'm pretty sure you understand that there's probably somebody at B. right? I'm sure you understand that. It's you and the bomb carrier left. Now this is where the problem comes in, right? Instead of helping your teammate here, it didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. Instead of helping him get on a site and clearing site, you're watching library, which you really don't need to be watching right now, right? Unless you specifically heard somebody walking on wood, which clearly you didn't because there was nobody in library. There's no reason to be watching library in this situation, right? You need to be clearing site. You need to be making sure nobody's in sight, and you need to make sure no one's pit. And also graveyard, right? These, order of priority, make sure no one's on site right here. After that, make sure nobody's in pit. And then, while you're doing that, it'd be pretty easy to tell if somebody's graveyard, right? If you were with your teammate, this guy would be dead. He has 19 HP. You could have easily killed that guy, and it would have been a 2v2 with a bomb plant, right? Instead, you weren't watching, and he dies. And, just goes downhill, right? Luckily, you win. But this would have been a much easier situation in a 2v2, right? So, I pretty much watched this whole demo, and the points that I want to make are, number one, you need to be more aware of your positioning, right? There was that time when you're looking down here with your back wide open, you're walking backwards looking at library, back wide open. There was another situation where you were in a 1v1 and you were sitting here when you knew the guy was archway, and so he just peeked out right here and killed you like that. You need to be more aware of your positioning and use your cover, right? And it might seem like cowardly or dumb to be using cover to hide from your opponent sometimes, but sometimes you need to use the map to your advantage, right? If we didn't need cover, if we shouldn't be using cover, we wouldn't have any maps. They'd just all be flat maps and we'd be killing each other, right? That's not the way the game works. You need to be using your cover as much as you can and using it to your advantage so you can get the edge on your opponent. Your opponent was here and you were here one time. Best case scenario for you start winning this gunfight, and if he's smart enough, he's going to hide behind this wall towards boiler, and he's going to say, I know where he is now, alright? I can hear if he starts leaving, and he doesn't have enough time to go plant because you were in a 1v1 clutch situation. There was like 20 seconds left before you got into that gunfight. Now, best case scenario for him, he starts killing you. You have nowhere to go. There's a bench in your way. You can't go over here. You can't exactly run this way without dying, and you can't exactly go down here, right? You need to be more aware of your positioning. You grab the bomb, and you went here immediately. If anything, you should be going alt mid, or just straight to banana, knife out, trying to get the plant, because you knew he was here. So, you just need to be more aware of your positioning, and you need to be using your cover effectively, right? You need to be holding angles rather than being in the middle of absolutely nowhere, right? Secondly, you're a good player. You just need to start. I'm gonna challenge you. What I want you to do is I want you to start playing slower. And I usually don't make this advice because a lot of people play too slow. For you, this isn't the case. Sometimes you play a little bit too fast, especially in clutch situations. Like in this situation here, play that just fine. See, that is a really good play right there, right? Now, this was one of the rounds that I wrote down as really good. There was one round where it was like a 2v3 or something, and you hid right here as a CT, and then you just left, right? Stuff like that. Like this one you played really well, and you played it slow, and you had a lot of time, so you could do it. There were a lot of rounds, like that one at B where you just ran down here. Maybe it's because this time around you're more confident because you're playing really well. At this point in the round, you have 11 kills in the game. You're 8 rounds in, so you're doing well. So I don't know what it is, but you definitely need to be thinking about playing slower. And I want to challenge you to when you're put in these situations where there's a lot of pressure and your blood's pumping, I'm challenging you to think and play slower. I want you to make yourself play slower. And I want to put you out of your comfort zone because one thing I do want to bring up in CT side, you did buy like a PP zone even when you had money and even when the other team was on a buy round. Shouldn't be doing that. I would assume the only reason why you're doing that is because of your comfort zone. And the thing I want to make a point about is I want you to start playing out of your comfort zone. I want you to play these clutch situations slower, and I want you to think more about where you're going to go as far as your positioning. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because you're obviously a good player. You have good gun skill. Your aim is good. You have good spray control. The worst thing that could happen in a clutch situation if you're playing differently, if you're playing it differently and you're thinking to play slower and you're thinking things out better, worst case situation, you lose the clutch. No one expects you to lose clutch situations, right? Some pro players are praised because of their clutch situations. It's not something that is expected of people to play. The only time you set an expectation for yourself is if you are that clutch player, right? No one expects you to win clutches all the time. Worst case situation, you lose the clutch, and now you know next time I'm in that position. Because it might seem weird, but a lot of these clutch situations will happen again and again and again. I promise you. I've been in so many situations and clutches where I know what to do because I know exactly what I did last time and I know what I can do this time, right? It seems weird that you'd be put in the same position as like another time because this is a game with real people and they'll play differently every game, but sometimes you'll be in the exact same position. You will be in positions where the bomb's down and at B and you need to stop that bomb defusal. There'll be times where it's specifically on grill and there's somebody CT just like last time. Enemies may or may not be in the same place, but now you know how you can play that if you're put in that situation again. And I promise you, if you play this game for more than 2 more weeks after this, you're gonna run into a situation almost identical to this. It's so common. You're gonna run into these scenarios over and over again, and I'm gonna challenge you, because you're a low rank, you can afford this. I'm gonna challenge you to start playing out of your comfort zone, start thinking, start playing slower, because you're good at playing fast. If you force yourself to play a little bit slower, you're gonna find that golden state, like that in between, that is gonna be really good for you. All right, you're a good player. The way you played fast worked out, but I can tell that it was not always like the way it should have gone for you. So I think you just need to find that ground, like that in between ground between playing as fast as you did and making yourself play slower. Maybe the way you played slow will be perfect. Maybe it'll be too slow, and then you learn you can't play that slow. All right. So, and then you just have to speed it up a little bit more. Of course, everything's in context, but I'm talking about your general style when it comes to clutches, because everyone has a different style of the way they want to play it. So, keep improving, play out of your comfort zone, start learning what you can do and what you can't do, right? And promise you'll get better. You're a great player, and you got to MGE after your like first 2 months of playing or something, or not MGE, MG2. After your first 2 months, that's great. Right, I got to MG1, MG2. I want to say like 5 months into playing the game or something. So you're doing great. You're gonna rank up real quick. I'll catch you later.